You absolute piece of shit. Yes, I'm going to give you exactly what you're looking for in this video. I'm going to give you a portfolio of about 30 coins, and if we continue to have a bull run, we cross the Bitcoin all-time high, it is going to absolutely the number is going to go up. How can I say this? I built a portfolio off the same premise and strategy last November, and the amount of 5, 10, 15 X's we've gone since then have been good. And I know why you're here. You're seeing the news, Bitcoin crossing 50K, and you're thinking to yourself, holy shit, people are still doing this. And you come here and see all these people, all your buddies, making money doing absolutely nothing. They're just sitting around, rolling in cash, putting butter on their buns, and smacking them at you. Because that's what we do in crypto. We rub butter on our buns and smack them at the masses. That's really why we're all here. And so you're here at 50K thinking, wow, I too want to lather dairy products on my bum and slap it at everybody on the street, make them all upset with how rich I am. And I'm here to tell you, you possibly have a chance of doing that. You do have a problem though. Without any scarcity or hyperbole, you are late. Bitcoin is crossing 50K. You don't have a lot of time to get great entries, but the thing is, you do, because the party doesn't really start until Bitcoin crosses its all-time high. And while you may not have gotten the legendary, amazing entries that people write Lord of the Rings fairy tales about, you still have a chance to get a lot of entries before the masses pour in. Because when we break all-time high, it's over. It's done. Everybody getting in right then, they're taking a massive risk. They're sticking their dick in a pencil sharpener and hoping it doesn't turn on. And my goal in this video is to save you from that. I want to get you into these entries before the all-time high so you can sit back and do absolutely nothing for the next year, wait for everyone to start buying, all the grandmothers, Kim Kardashian, heck, even Nancy Pelosi, and then as soon as crypto gets a little bit of a good reputation, starts becoming credible again, we dump savagely all over their faces and go, wrong, this is still the same. You fell for it again, and then we run off to Vegas with all their money. That is the goal. That's what we're trying to achieve. This is the community I'm trying to beckon you into. That being said, you realistically don't have a lot of time. People are seeing what Bitcoin is doing. People are coming back in, and they're looking for gains. But luckily for you, you found the most degenerate, lowest quality content crypto channel on all of YouTube. Good for you. And if this was like a Black Friday event, I'm taking in the back door. I'm going to show you the best places to be looking. So without further ado, I'm going to drop the jokes. I'm going to get straight in. So where are we starting at? What's in this portfolio? Bar none, this bull run, the portfolio that's going to deliver the best results and has already delivered the best results is in gaming and gaming crypto. I'll explain what that means if you're new here. Just be patient. However, there are currently some really good entries still left in crypto gaming. There's also really good entries in AI, gambling, and a lot of new infrastructure that's hitting the market that I think can do the huge multi-billion-dollar runs that we saw last bull market with new infrastructure that came in. And if we cross a Bitcoin all-time high, this stuff is going to it's going to go nuclear. All we have to do from these entries is do absolutely nothing. We just wait for the rest of the year until things start to get a little bit out of control, and then we sell. That being said, there is massive risk to this, and you are buying a little bit late. So please read this disclaimer, and I'll recap that like 5 times before I actually give you any coins here. There is massive risk. This is crypto. This is 100% gambling. This is not responsible investing. You're going to lose all your money. Now, before I give you this portfolio and this list of coins, let me explain how the Bitcoin all-time high is going to work so you know what you're getting into and what we're trying to do with this strategy. Then I'll just give you the coins and you can run off and do what you will, and hopefully it ends with you rubbing butter on those buns. But let's get into it. Bitcoin all-time high. So to add to the urgency, Bitcoin, as I'm shooting this, literally just put in a God candle from 49K to 51K. Things are heating up. You need to pay attention because if you don't get this concept I'm about to talk about, well, you're going to miss something pretty cool. You're going to miss out on a lot of cash. So let's talk about a little bit of Bitcoin history. Let's go back in time before half you kiddos watching this channel were born. So if you look back to 2017, the old all-time high of Bitcoin was $17,000. And you can see we didn't really cross that until December 1st, 2020. Why is this important? Now, I think this is going to work a little bit differently this time. People are aware of how all-time highs work. We're aware of how the halving works. There's so much bullish narratives going on right now. I think this is going to happen a little bit earlier. We might even be experiencing right now, so listen up. But what you need to understand is that if we look at a lot of altcoins, for example, Polygon, which was one of the best performers last bull run, and we go to that date, which was December 1st, 2020, you can see that we really didn't even start moving in these things. They didn't move at all. And then after Bitcoin hit its all-time high, that's when they went absolutely nuclear. Probably a better example, this might be BNB. We can go look at it, and you can see here's the date, the 2020 date right here. Here's when Bitcoin broke all-time high. And then about a week later, it went absolutely nuclear. This is what we're trying to tap into right here. Now, if you go and look into this and we really zoom in before it went nuclear, you can see it's not staying still. This thing tripled and quadrupled. All right, it went all the way up to $40. Then it went all the way up to $600. That's a takeaway I'm trying to impair onto you right now. While things are up, they're 3-4x up, what we're going to see if Bitcoin breaks all-time high is likely nothing compared to where we're going to be going. And this is what we're going to be trying to tap into with this portfolio. So before we get started, I very rarely have time to make these videos. They take a lot of work. That's why you should be following me on Twitter at CSS Becker for faster updates. A lot of the coins I'm going to talk about, a lot of things I'm going to be talking about right here, I've already covered on Twitter like 10 times. If you want to be on the cutting edge, you need to follow me on Twitter at CSS Becker. Now, before we get into this portfolio, I have to stress in the most strongest of terms, this is not financial advice. This is absolute gambling. Please read this disclaimer. There is absolutely a very high likelihood that this will reverse and we will lose all of our money. So please do not treat this as sound investing. Do not put money you can't afford to lose into this. Okay, let's get into it. The general premise so far in the bull run that has proved very lucrative is gaming, and it being by far the largest returner in crypto. Why does it have this narrative? The reason simply is that the most obvious place that people are going to get onboarded into crypto is going to be gaming. If you look at this tweet by my buddy Elliot, he explains it very, very well. But long story short, there is no single niche that has so many users, that has such a strong use case as crypto gaming does. There are billions and billions and billions of people that play video games, that use in-game currencies, that use in-game assets, and the value of the infrastructure, the games, the assets is going to be astronomical when these people start to get onboarded. And this is going to happen way before anything else happens like DeFi or banking. So what we primarily want to do is ride this narrative to the moon. I also think AI is going to do exceptionally well. The reason that I think AI is going to do exceptionally well is look at the market cap of NVIDIA. AI is strongly in demand right now, and the way AI is processed via crypto, I'm going to give a very, very basic 50,000 foot view, is the demand for processing and the rationing of power to power AI goes hand in hand with blockchain and how the currencies and tokens work. Also, there's massive hype around AI as the video goes higher and higher and higher, and it really hasn't had its run yet. Gaming had its run last run. It's having a bigger run now. AI is just getting its first run. So we super want to tap into this. So I'm going to give you a 30 coin portfolio right here. What you need to do is understand as I get deeper into the portfolio, the riskier it gets. You could really stop at the first 5 coins and just be good. If you're a beginner, I suggest you even do that. For example, back in November, I said if you just make a portfolio of IMX, Beam, Super, AVAX, you'd be doing pretty well. All those coins are up 5 to 15x. They've gone absolutely nuts. And all you had to do is just get those big coins, do nothing, and then you could just screw off the rest of the bull run. Just sit on them. You do super well and beat almost everyone else in the market. You can do that with this portfolio too. I'm not saying get all 30 of these coins. I just want you to kind of understand how I'm ordering these. So let's begin. If we're going to start anywhere, you can of course come in here and jump into Solana and some of these coins right here. If I'm going to start anywhere, I'm going to start at AVAX. AVAX is a really, really, really strong gaming narrative that it's going to be able to ride with. It also is one of the biggest games coming out on it, which is Gunzilla's Off the Grid. You combine these together with Off the Grid coming to AVAX and there behind it, I think AVAX has a chance to super run. And you can see, for example, Solana right here is at a $50 billion market cap. I think AVAX can easily get to this $50 billion market cap. And if we run like we did last run, for example, if we just go look at the all-time high market cap of Solana, the limits that these layer ones can run to, let's go to all-time, are absolutely absurd. So I think we could easily see like a, I don't know, $150 billion market cap on Solana, and we could easily see AVAX go and pull up right underneath it. That's probably going to be like a 3, 4, 5x from here. Not the juiciest gains, but if you just want one big giant coin to just smash your face in your keyboard and buy and have the lowest risk possible, which there's no such thing as no risk in crypto. The chance to lose all your money is always on the table. These coins are 100% going to go back down 90% if we get a bear like we did last time, which is very likely. So keep that all in mind. I think another coin that I'd throw into a big responsible portfolio is Chainlink. It's the most useful crypto in all of crypto. It's the only one that actually has like the strong use case. That being said, it's not sexy, it's not super narrative driven, and I could only see this doing like a 3, 4, 5x from here. Again, not crazy nuclear gains, but that's pretty damn good. If you're the guy that gets nervous when going 5 miles per hour in your mother's minivan, these coins are for you. Now, the first place I'm going to stop after this is, yeah, there's a lot of good coins we can get into right here that people are going to talk about, but we're here to make a lot of money. And if I wanted to just make 2, 3x returns, I'd just be playing in stocks or something. I don't know. I want to go a little bit hard. And the first place I'm going to be going to is Immutable X. This, by far, it's like AVAX on the levels of gaming narrative it has behind it. But this thing is going to absolutely run if we continue in a bull. It's already been running. If you look back when we started talking about it last year, here's November when we started talking about it, it's already gone up 4 or 5x. And I think it's probably has a very good chance of doing that BNB-like run that I showed you earlier. And if I'm going to make like a 4-coin high profit portfolio, it's going to involve these coins right here. AVAX, Immutable X, and then the next coin I'm going to be diving into is Beam. I think this is probably going to be one of the strongest runners this entire bull because it's new. The market cap has gone from, if you were in the channel earlier this year, again, we got in right here when it was at like 0.004, and it's really gone from there. Again, look at that BNB thing I showed you before. Again, you are buying a bit late, but again, this thing could run like an absolute maniac, and I think it could go all the way to a $10 billion market cap. So as we get into Beam, this is where we're starting to actually look at like 5, 8, 10x's if the bull continues. Beam provides by far some of the most important infrastructure in gaming. Everything is going to be using it. It has the narrative, it has the marketing. And so this is where I'm really going to be starting at in my portfolio. I do hold AVAX, I do hold Immutable X, but my biggest holds really start at Beam and this next coin right here. Super, which is owned by my partner at Neo Tokyo Elia Trades, and Super's just it's a parent. We started talking about it right here at like 0.08. It's now done almost an 11x at this point. It's been one of my largest holds forever. Why? Has one of the strongest founders. The infrastructure they're building has tied into almost every big project. And I think Super has the ability with Beam to go to IMX levels. Maybe it won't hit the levels that IMX is going to go to this bull run, but I think it has the ability to go where IMX is now. I think it has the ability to be a multi-billion-dollar market cap coin. And I think it has the ability to either match Beam's market cap as it goes up. So I think Beam could easily be a $10 billion coin if the bull run continues. For a while, this is all predicated on that. And I think Super could go right up there with it. So it really almost has limitless potential from my point of view with everything they're plugging into and how big gaming could get. And you have to understand that gaming right now is about a $20 billion market cap. What does that mean? So if we go and look at Dogecoin, for example, the market cap of all of crypto gaming isn't even bigger than the market cap of a goofy meme coin. The market cap of Doge hit like 55 billion. That's double the market cap of gaming right now. So all of gaming crypto isn't even as big as one meme coin. I know some of these numbers I'm talking about right now are mind-blowing, but this isn't even as big as some joke coins got to. For example, Shiba Inu got to a $43 billion market cap. So it's really important to keep that context in mind. We're not talking about single coins right here. We're talking about an entire market that isn't even as valuable as one joke coin. I think the market cap of crypto gaming could at least get to $100 billion to $200 billion by the end of this bull run, especially once mainstream adoption starts. Again, this is one of the most powerful use cases for all of crypto. And currently, it's not even as big as one meme coin. Now, there's a few other really good coins in gaming that I'm not invested in right now that I have to bring up. So if I want to go for other big, chunky game coins in gaming, there's a lot of good ones up here. But I think ones that are really going to run, I think Echelon Prime has a very strong narrative to run with, and I think Oasis has a very strong narrative to run with. These are both really important infrastructure to crypto gaming that I think can go absolutely nuclear. Now, if I'm looking for other consistent bets in crypto gaming, the next place I'm going to be looking at is probably going to first be just stopping at Cetify. Why is this? If we look at Heroes of Mafia, which is another one that I'm invested in, I think is going to keep doing really well, and I think could run to a higher market cap, though it is getting at a high market cap already. And the closest comparison I think we could make to this is how, let's go down and find Illuvium, the market cap that Illuvium got to last bull run. So if we go look at it, this is one of the best performers. Again, I'm been an investor in Illuvium forever, since all the way down here. That being said, if we go look at this, got to $1 billion market cap. I think Heroes of Mafia could do the same thing. That's not the point. Heroes of Mafia just released, and everybody that got in, especially the people inside of Neo Tokyo, which is myself and Elliott Trades NFT community, link in my profile on Twitter. If you're not there, if you're not inside there, you're just not on the cutting edge of gaming crypto and what's going on. You get early access to so many projects before they hit the market. You get access to all the best investors and gaming traders there are. And then almost every founder inside of gaming crypto is in there. All the projects I just mentioned, Illuvium, Heroes of Mafia, Super, IMX, AVAX, and every other project I'm probably going to mention in here. Without me being biased, it's not like you get to join Neo Tokyo and then I talk about your project. It's just almost every single gaming founder is inside of Neo Tokyo. They hold an NFT. They're inside the club because the benefit to people that are in gaming crypto is absurd. It's like a private country club where all the best people in the space are all hanging out. So I'm not going to make that point anymore because we have so much to talk about. But everybody that got in early right here, or even bought when this opened up, they're up in massive profit right now. The thing opened at 0.40 cents. So anybody that was in Neo Tokyo or Cetify was able to buy into that really early. And the thing is, the way it works is if you own Cetify tokens, you're able to then buy into it really early. This is such an obvious token that's going to be in super demand throughout the entire bull run for this one single narrative. It's the biggest gaming launch pad in the space. People are demanding it. People really, really, really want early access to these gaming projects. It's that simple. The other coins I would look at in this area, and I think launch pads are just such a simple bet when in bull runs, they just always do very well, would be a Neo Tokyo Bytes, which is what controls the Neo Tokyo launchpad, and then of course Paid Network, which is a more of a general launchpad where people get access to IDOs and projects early. Paid and Bytes are a lot smaller right now, but I hold all three. I'm also the founder of Bytes. Just full transparency right there, which is the coin for Neo Tokyo. These projects are just going to do really well if there's a bull run because demand for IDOs and early access to coins is just strong. It's very, very strong. And I want you to notice one thing. The projects I'm mentioning first are more so infrastructure, studios, or things that tie into the entire gaming space. What we really want to look for when we're building our portfolio is we want projects that all the projects plug into. Individual games can do very well. For example, Illuvium has been one of the best performers this entire bull market so far. Individual games can do very, very well. The bigger bets that can get to giant market caps, I'm talking like $10 billion market caps and higher, are these big infrastructure coins like Immutable X and Beam. And so I want to find these ones first and base my portfolio around those. The games are a little bit more risky. Now, the next place I would be stopping at is going to be the game studios themselves. So the ones I have and look at, that's going to be Vulcan Forge. I think it just has a great narrative. A lot of people are aware of this coin. It did really well last run. I think it's just going to do great this run. And these ones that I'm getting into right now have the ability to go much higher. You can see we're not dealing with billion-dollar market caps anymore. Okay, so that's what makes Echelon Prime and Oasis pretty strong as well. But we're dealing with much lower market caps now. And I think all of these could easily run to billion-dollar or like $1.5 billion market caps, giving us clean 10, 15Xs. So Vulcan Forge is definitely one of those. Nakamoto Games is definitely one of those. And one that is lower down the totem pole and being a little bit ignored right now that I think is going to do really well is going to be WAGMI Games. The fully diluted market cap is very near the current market cap. They have a really strong command on mobile games, which I think is where most of the gains in gaming crypto are going to be. I don't think we're going to be breaking the AA space right away. That's not the case with some new projects I'm going to be mentioning at the end of this that have not dropped yet. By the way, my list of all new coins and new projects that have not dropped yet that I'm looking at, but are dropping, they're starting off from their base points and going up. That list is on my Twitter at ZSS Becker. I will talk about them in this video, but everybody that was on my Twitter had this way before you. So you should follow me on Twitter at ZSS Becker. That being said, I think WAGMI has a really strong place. One coin that I think is very undervalued right now is Mira. It's a really good example of that infrastructure I'm talking about. And so I think this coin, once it gets traction, once it starts incorporating with more games, I think this one could be way more than a 10, 15x from here, simply because it fits more into the category of Super, Beam, and IMX than it does fit into these studio categories. VRA is also a really strong coin because it deals with the advertising of gaming content and content that people watch online. And I think advertising is super undervalued right now in crypto. No one's thinking about it, but the networks that move the money around and pay people are going to be widely in demand because that's what's going to fuel all sorts of use in crypto. So VRA is really strong too. I don't personally hold that. And the final infrastructure coin that I think is going to do really well that is also really undervalued right now is Altura. It has NFT infrastructure that plugs into all sorts of games. It already has a lot of deals. It's already interacting with a lot of people, and I think it's really just being overlooked right now. And I think this one could go to a very, very high market cap and pull a 10, 15x from here. I'm not really sure why it's sitting at this market cap right now. The fully diluted market cap is awesome on it. I've been an investor in Altura for a long time. I think it's going to do really, really well this run. It's, in my opinion, a very overlooked infrastructure coin. Now, before we get into other areas like gambling and AI, let's talk about the individual games. There are so many good games. And if I leave off a game in here, it doesn't mean that I think it's not worthy of being on the list. There's just so many games to talk about, and we don't want a portfolio of 500 coins. Okay, 30 is already pretty excessive. And if you're a beginner or you're kind of new at this point, maybe only have like 1 or 3 games in your portfolio. You could actually stop with what we've already talked about. Games that run really hard in markets, and they get the mainstream narrative. You can go look at, for example, Axie last bull run went all the way to, let's go look at the total market cap at the top. And this was absolutely nuts. It was at $10 billion. So games can totally run. They can go absolutely wild. And so if we get an Axie Infinity, which I think we're going to see another one of, it's totally possible. So that makes things really exciting when we start coming down to the coins. For example, Illuvium is kind of a Pokemon/Palworld type game that I currently don't hold any coins in at the moment, but has done very, very well. And I think it will continue to do well. At a $380 million market cap, it's fully diluted, is not that bad. Our bet here is that this is going to be the next Axie. It has that narrative, and so that's why the market cap's so high right now. Here's a Mavia also has the next Axie kind of like narrative going for it. Has a lot of players. It's probably one of the most downloaded games on phone right now. I like the fact that it's on mobile devices. It's basically a very close copy of Clash of Clans, which is a good thing for it. I am an investor in Heroes of Mavia. I think, again, we're not looking at this market cap right now and comparing it to other games. We're comparing it to where Axie went to last bull. So I think it's going to do very strong. Big Time is another super strong contender. I don't have any coins in that right now, but it's something you should definitely consider putting in your portfolio, along with Star Atlas. I think one of the coins that's going to do super duper well this bull run is Shrapnel. It has a pretty nasty fully diluted market cap. But so did Illuvium last run, and it did 60, 100x from wherever it started at. Shrapnel has tons and tons and tons of massive attention, and so I think it's almost a little bit underrated right now. We want to be careful when the fully diluted market cap starts being released, but we have a lot of time before that, and I think this has a lot of room to run with, especially on the focus and narrative it's getting right now. Sidus is another strong contender, has a lot of attention in the space. It has a launch pad, it has a lot of burning of the token that's going on, so I think we should always just consider Sidus in this list. And after that, we're getting kind of low on the totem pole. So the next place I'm going to stop at after gaming coins is going to be gambling coins. Why gambling coins? The same exact narrative as gaming. They plug in with crypto so well. Decentralized gambling is absolutely the future of gambling. And if you look at how much money was gambled on the Super Bowl, I think it was like $23 billion. Gambling is massive. There's entire cities built around gambling. Las Vegas, hotels, empires, all built around the transactions, or taking chunks of the transactions from gambling. The current market cap of all of gambling crypto is like $1 billion. I don't even know what it's at. It's comically low. It doesn't even have its own page that totals it all up, like CoinMarketCap does for gaming. I think probably my strongest pick and biggest investment right now in gaming is Crown by Third Time Games. Why? If you go look at this, this is just a horse racing simulator that has the NFT part of it, and betting on horses absolutely nailed. It's partnered with the Kentucky Derby. It has all the right partnerships, it has all the right media, it has all the right solutions to the NFTs. And I think NFT horse breeding combined with betting on the NFTs racing against each other is going to be absolutely phenomenally, stupidly huge. These guys do it so well. So I think when it comes to peak gambling coins, I would hold Crown by Third Games is absolutely huge. And then we can just kind of narrow ourselves down to smaller coins like sports betting. For example, blockchain bets is pretty much my biggest bet when it comes to sports betting. I'm sure you're aware about sports betting sites like DraftKings, FanDuel, whatever. This falls in that area. So I think one of these is going to go really, really high when people all start using them. If something gets to like DraftKings levels, it's going to have like a $20 billion market cap. It will go nuclear. I'm not saying a blockchain bets is going to a $20 billion market cap, but I think the narrative around gambling is so strong it could do really well. Of course, we can look at, just poker, virtue poker. And then another one I'm looking at, but don't currently hold, but I'm considering, is Redodo, because it provides infrastructure and allows people to build their own crypto gaming gambling. So that's just nasty. So finally, the last place I'm going to stop at is, of course, going to be AI. Why? If you don't know a lot about AI, this won't make any sense, but the processing power and management of that processing power is an extreme problem and, what's the word for it? Achilles heel for a lot of companies right now. And buying servers, buying processing power is it's a pain in the butt. Because you have to split the power of computers, you have to split how they're going to send power to certain AIs. Sometimes, for example, if you have an AI that's running on your business, you want to use on-demand. So basically, you only use processing power when you need it. It's very complicated to manage, and it requires so much sign-up, deal-making, signing of contract. It's an absolute mess. And so crypto allows the automation of a lot of that and the distribution of AI power, also the distribution of certain bots or AIs that do certain things. For example, if you wanted to plug into a chatbot or fuel a chatbot, which is what one of my favorite coins, PAL, does, managing the demand or who gets what, who gets attention, the use of that, the way the coins work and plug into and it manages the distribution of these AI and the processing, it just works really well. So where I'm going to look at it, and I'm not as researching AI as I want to be, but that's good for you because the market cap of all AI coins, this is not all AI coins. This includes a lot of big data coins and data management coins, which are great, but I'm looking purely at AI coins. So I'm going to look at Akash Network. Echelon Prime is really strong because it double edges in the AI and gaming. And I'm going to be looking at PAL right now. There's a few other ones like OXO AI that I think is going to do really well. I'm not a holder on that right now, but I might be in the future. And a lot of these just haven't done their huge runs. The thing is with these AI coins, these can be multiple billion-dollar market cap. I mean, look at the market cap in NVIDIA. That's not saying AI crypto coins are going to that level. I'm saying the hype driven behind that, it's a multi-bazillion trillion dollar company just on the basis of AI processing power. Seeing AI crypto, especially once it gets demand, going to 100 billion, 500 billion, even $1 trillion market cap in the next 10 years is not outlandish at all when you look at all these coins, all this processing power equaling 1/10 of NVIDIA. That's not that hard to fathom. And so I'll probably have an AI video coming up here in the future. I'm not as researching it as I want to be, but those are the coins I would be looking at just off the top of my head. Akash, PAL is my absolute favorite out of the list I shared. OXO. And there's a really, really good coin coming out in the future called GPU that I'll talk about here in a second. The final coins I'd be looking at are coins that are not released yet. And we've already been in this video for a long time, and I really want you to go do your research on these coins. I released this list on Twitter the other day. These are the projects that are coming out in gaming and other areas that I think are going to do insanely well. I'm not talking about these too much or going too deep into them in this video because when coins drop, it's very risky. And I usually don't talk about coins within a week of when they're dropping, before or after. So you have to like know this off the top of your head without me feeding you. In fact, if you're looking for me to hold your hand or be your bag holder in these videos, you really need to take a second and consider if you really want to get into crypto. Because this is super PvP, and like you, I'm trying to buy low and sell high. And one of the reasons why I talk about so many coins in these videos is so that we can kind of disperse the attention around so many different coins and you can go do your research and actually get good entries. But I 100% sell my coins all the time. And if you look at my microcap video on how I trade coins, I'm constantly rotating in and out of coins as a bull run gets going. As soon as we cross all-time high, I'm going to be exiting aggressively and going into new coins aggressively. That's how I trade microcaps, which is what we're talking about right here. So please go watch my microcap videos. Please do not expect me to hold your hand throughout this entire bull market. And please, before you buy a coin, you need to have it understand the coin so you can understand when to exit and when to sell. This is why, if you're a beginner, you should only have around 5 coins in your portfolio so you know exactly what's going on in each coin so you can get out the right times. Because trust me, we're going to go crazy higher if we break all-time high, and then we're probably going 50, 70, 80%, 90% lower in most of these coins guaranteed. Bitcoin will probably take a 70% dive like it did last time. And even the top most reliable coins I've talked about here, they're probably going to take 90% dives. And if you're not capable of making calls on buying and selling, maybe you should just watch this for entertainment value. Back to it. These coins right here, when they drop, are going to be really risky and super volatile. So I'm not going to say like buy these at drop. You just get torn up. One of the biggest losses I ever got into was when I tried to buy the super drop when it first launched. It's one of my biggest holds now, but I got ate up in the beginning from it. The project you should be watching right now, 100% Gunzilla, I think is probably going to be the biggest project in the space. It's the most AAA game that's releasing by far. It's just a no-brainer. Bloodloop is releasing here very soon. It's going to run like crazy because people are looking for Mafia-like games. Mafia just went from being 40 cents a drop all the way to $8 in a matter of 7 days. People are going to be looking for that from Bloodloop, and it's a great game. The action, the gameplay in it behind it looks really good. I think it's going to run really hard. Pixelmon is going to go absolutely nuclear. It's just famous because of the debacle with its NFTs and how much money it raised. But they've turned around into a game that is just, it's pretty damn sexy. Pixelmon has huge brand awareness. It's going to run like crazy. Chronoforge is coming up. Same kind of situation as Bloodloop. Great gameplay, a lot of people watching it, a lot of attention. Monad is a new layer 1 that's coming up that plugs into Ethereum and brings like Solana transaction speed to Ethereum. It's going to be, I think, probably one of the biggest big chain blue chip runners of this entire bull run. It hasn't dropped yet. I think it's going to go under the radar because there's so much focus on really hypey coins, which is gaming and AI right now. I don't think many people are going to catch this when it goes live. And so if it's kind of flat when it goes live, that's when I would be looking at. And then once these layer 1s or these big giant infrastructure coins start running, they run to tens of billions of dollar market caps. So that's kind of my bet on Monad and why I'm actually an investor on that. RumbleCons, ton of brand awareness, going to do really well. Treeverse, I think is probably going to be one of the biggest games in the space. Has a pretty famous founder. My Pet Hooligan, the quality of everything going on up there is absolutely incredible. So I think that's going to be right up there with Pixelman, Gunzilla, definitely Mafia. And then some other niches I'm looking at coins that haven't released yet. GPU, just go research it. I'll be talking about it in my AI video coming up. And DOP is this coin that's coming up in the future that allows anonymous transactions on Ethereum, which is probably the biggest problem with Ethereum. So it's solving that. I think it's going to be absolutely massive. And I think it's going to go under the radar because, again, people are looking for these good, simple to understand gaming coins and hypey coins. They don't really get the infrastructure coins that are dropping. So Monad and DOP, I think, they're going to be juicy. So that's the portfolio I would be building right now. Again, there's massive risk to this. There's a huge chance we just stop right now or some recession or black swan happens and we lose all of our money in this. So I can't stress how risky this is and how cautious you should be and not invest anything that you can't afford to lose in crypto. I'm not even saying invest. I think you should stay far away from this and not touch it at all. It's incredibly risky and almost 90% of people that get into it lose all their money. That's my actual advice to you. Just don't do it. But you're going to because we're pieces of shit and that's just... we can't stay away from putting our hand on the stove. So if you're going to do it, that's what I'm looking at. I gave a bunch of coins I'm invested in and a bunch of coins I'm not invested in. I think a lot of those are really great projects, and I think gaming portfolio-based portfolios are going to do super duper well this bull run. That's my main area of expertise. I don't really look at any other areas of crypto. If you're looking at other channels, you're looking at other coins, there are of course so many other good coins and other types of niches in crypto. It's not just going to be crypto gaming that does well. I like to focus on one niche because I can watch it like a hawk. And if Bitcoin crosses all-time high, by far the hypiest, most craziest narrative is going to be crypto gaming, just bar none. Then it's going to be AI, and I think gambling is just going to do stupid well because once gambling gets adopted, it's game over. We're going to see things start hitting DraftKings and FanDuel-like levels. They're going to get multi-billion-dollar market caps, and then everyone's going to FOMO on the gaming. So that's why I'm building my portfolio around those theses, because I like to swing out dick in the wind. I'm here to get huge X's, and I'm willing to lose all my money. And if you're not looking at it that way, there you go. And again, I only keep about 5% of my net worth in crypto, so if I lose all my money, it's not that big of a deal for me. And that's how you should probably be viewing this. So I don't have anything more to add. I don't. If you want these coins and news and everything I'm thinking way earlier, follow me on Twitter at CSS Becker. It's just that simple. You shouldn't be just coming to this channel. This is the last source I post to. And while these videos are a lot more explanative and I have a lot better tutorials, if you want the most update, bam content, it's my Twitter, bar none. I'll see you in the next video.